From darkness to light with Discover Islam.
Accepted Islam twice. I have always had an open mind, and my home was a mixed one. My father is Hindu and my mother a Christian. I grew up learning both traditions. My name is Vinny and I am from India, and this is my story. I was only 19-year-old when I fell in love with a Muslim boy. He told me I had to become Muslim to marry him. I didn't understand that because my parents didn't change their faith to get married. But I did as he wished because I loved him and I wasn't really religious anyway. We walked up to a Muslim Qa'di and I took my Shahadah. I married him even though my parents did not like the idea. I found out after, he wasn't a practicing Muslim and he didn't teach me anything about Islam. We only celebrated Eid together and that was it. This suited me well at that time. It was all good in the beginning, but trouble started when I gave birth to my daughter. The financial responsibilities began and we were constantly fighting about money. The fights kept getting worse, and we were young and rash. I left his home in anger, but my parents were kind enough to let my daughter and I back home. I was heartbroken and depressed. I was not even in my mid-20s and I was already divorced, had a daughter to look after, had to find a job to make ends meet, while my husband was free to restart his life with someone else. To fight the stress, I took to alcohol and cigarettes after work hours, neglecting everyone including my daughter. My parents and sister tried to intervene, because my habits, behavior, and temper were getting wild and everyone was getting scared I would hurt myself or someone else. One day, in a drunken state, I was yelling at my parents. I saw my daughter standing at the door of her bedroom, with fear in her eyes. That was the moment I knew I had to change, for her sake. After sobering up, the family decided that I needed a new job and environment to make the change. As if by miracle, just then I got a call for a job offer in Bahrain, when I least expected it. I moved to Bahrain and started work. My habits had changed, but the after effects of years of alcohol abuse was evident in my behavior. My colleagues were afraid of my temper and sharp tongue. There was just one colleague who was a Muslim gentleman, who saw through all of external behavior. We soon fell in love, but I was not so sure. I was in this sorry position because of my Muslim ex-husband. Why should this Muslim man be any different? He was quite practicing and knowledgeable and he had answers to all of my doubts and questions. What really changed the deal was when he said that my relationship with God had to be fixed, all other relationships will get fixed too. I decided to take the plunge and marry him, and for marriage, I had to take the Shahadah again. She met a da'i, who explained the concepts of Islam and I become Muslim. I found Allah, a good partner, and a good future for my daughter.
From darkness to light with Discover Islam.